a lot of salt. Now, here's the weird thing. People freak out when you say salt your water. I'm not doing Miller wafers. We're going to do a special one, here. When I say salt your water, you put a lot of salt in there. If it doesn't taste like the ocean, you have not put enough salt in your water, because when you're cooking pasta, any salt that your pasta doesn't need is going to come out in the water anyway. So don't freak out. Now, if it was something that you were going to eat all of, like if it was rice, you would not want to put that much salt in it. But you would do that if you're doing a pasta water. So I'm going to go ahead and salt my water. And yes, I'm one of those that has a little pinch bowl for their salt. I did two little aggressive sprinkles when I made that.
As the lyrics like you said, people want to know what kind of cookies those were.
Okay, so when I sent out the recipes, I sent out several different variations. It was interesting. Rupert and I had a whole conversation. We said, "What are you going to make?" And he said, "I'm sure you'll make it your own way, because I'm kind of known to just do something a little bit off the beaten path." So I sent out a couple of different recipes. After we did the base one, there is a Jamaican banana pudding that has rum and coconut and lime zest in it. I have a kid who absolutely hates coconut. I would have loved to make that. My mom doesn't drink, so I wasn't going to put the rum in it. So, okay, so we throw that one out. And I still got two left. The next one on my idea was the salted caramel banana pudding. And I thought that Ray was getting up to make that, and I do not see Ray this morning. But she had all the ingredients, including her caramel. So it's a banana pudding base, and you add the caramel into the filling, and I'll show you how that's going to work. And then the one that I selected, because it was strange and my family happens to be addicted to Nutter Butters, I'm going to do a peanut butter lovers banana pudding, where instead of using vanilla wafers, I'm going to use Nutter Butters. So we'll have a little fun with that. Yay. Let's go ahead and get our pudding going. So I know that each of the recipes called for something slightly different. I sent out the actual measurements on those recipes. Go ahead and get my pudding mix. I absolutely am into a vanilla pudding. That's just my thing. Um, some people use a banana cream pudding, perhaps add a little vanilla. I personally like the actual taste and flavor of a vanilla pudding inside of that. The only banana flavor I need is the actual bananas themselves. I'm going to use a cup and a third of milk. We'll go ahead and throw that in. If there are any wet ingredients, this is where you'll add those wet ingredients now. So I'm going to do that. Um, one more is the sweetened condensed milk. Works. It's really good. It does, in fact, add a little extra sugar, but it's delightful. Come on. Another one of the reasons I suggested that you have a little spatula with you.
Can I just tell everybody, she might not be cooking, but we do have just good food. If you want to see some of the stuff that Nicole and others makes, that's just absolutely mind blowing. Just look on Facebook and find just good food. And oh my God, if you want to try something, just
Or
get a
I'm
pretty
also on
plate.
Instagram.
Yes.
I am also on Instagram at I Speak Foodie.
Yeah.
That's my Instagram food page. Since I am doing the banana pudding, forgive me if I'm off screen right now. with the peanut butter, I need to go ahead and melt a little bit of peanut butter. So I'm going to put that in a pot just to help soften it. If you're doing something like peanut butter, marshmallow, there was actually a s'mores version that was available. Make sure that you don't turn your heat up too high. You could have a real pretty mess on your hands. And when I went to the grocery store to secure my ingredients, I looked up on, wait, you know how they do it? Put their hand behind everything. Honey peanut butter. Has anybody ever had the Elvis special? The Elvis special it's peanut butter and bananas with honey drizzled on it. Then you coat it in butter like you would a grilled cheese sandwich and fry that sucker. That's what his old maid.
She dropped?
You lose her? There she's back. And it's connection.
Okay, I have no idea where I disappeared to.
Okay.
So I'm going ahead and whisking up my custard right now with those wet ingredients. And most custards, most puddings, when you add them in, you have a slightly limited amount of time to work with them because it will start to thicken on you. This one we actually want to thicken just a little bit. I am watching my peanut butter. I need to watch my peanut butter again. It's live TV, folks. Y'all know what I need to do? Redo the melted peanut butter. Give me 2 seconds on this. It's a good thing we can let that filling sit just a bit. Now, interestingly, when you are doing an actual hot banana pudding, you do not want that to sit. Because if it sits, it's going to harden too much, and you want that heat to help ooze into your vanilla wafers. We like our vanilla wafers. We don't really want them crunchy. We like them soft. I think most of us, if we could, we just have a whole vanilla wafer pudding. Just vanilla wafers and vanilla pudding. All right, my sous chef is eating a caramel apple. Would you mind watching this for me this time, please? They won't see you. Go ahead and get the rest of that in there for me, please. Okay, let's do this again. And we'll show kitchen bloopers now. Okay. Custard is starting to firm up now. Here's an interesting thing that we're going to do because we're making a cold Miller pudding, we're going to add Cool Whip into the custard. And I think, Deidre, that's the same for you as well. I just got 2 half tins because that's what they had at my store. If you have a large tin, just slice it down the middle with your spatula. Go ahead and scoop that in. How's it coming? It just needs to melt. It doesn't need to get soupy. We are stirring this one together. If you were making the caramel one, this is where you would add caramel into the custard as well. And then you layer it with caramel and then you flake it with sea salt. I don't know what this whole salted caramel phenomenon is, but people love it. A little bit more. Just a little. All right. Have another spatula hiding somewhere. All right.
Only some of us know what that means, Nicole.
What?
Spatula.
Who? Spatula. I didn't say spatula.
Spatula. Keep talking.
Spatula. Oh, spatula. Yes. This is not. That's perfect. Thank you. This is not the only spatula. This is also a spatula. It is a silicone spatula. When people are in food service, food waste and food costs are very important. They will use this until you don't need to wash your dishes anymore because they will scrape and scrape and scrape that bowl because everything that you throw away or waste is money down the drain. So we like a food spatula. The silicone spatulas to make sure that we get everything, especially when you're baking. You want to use this, not this. We are not smacking, flipping, and rubbing down today. Deirdre, if you are making your pasta now, go ahead and get your pasta in the water. So I won't ask you to multitask. I'll stop and do that with you. We're going to add about 3 cups of macaroni noodles. I chose the cute little coily one. It got ridges too, helps them hold sauce, all of that good stuff.
That should be multitasking.
Yes, we can do that, except for peanut butter. Okay, so we've got pasta in the water. It is boiling. We do want to give it a quick stir to make sure it doesn't stick. We are not adding any oil to that. We want the sauce to stick to our pasta. Most of the time, we don't need anything like that. If it were a hot pasta, we would not rinse the pasta. But since it's a cold pasta, we are going to rinse it because we want to stop the cooking time on the pasta. So I'm just going to give this a quick stir, get it back up to a boil. How you doing, Deidre?
I'm making it.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. All right. Once that is done, we are ready to start layering our pudding. This is how much I love y'all. I did, in fact, order my trifle bowl because it's cute, and I wanted you all to be able to see everything that I was doing. I'm a nerd like that. We could start at the bottom. I don't like to start at the very bottom with my pudding. With my bananas. I prefer to start with a little pudding. I'm sorry. Somebody wanted to lick the whisk. So we're going to put a third of our pudding down on the bottom. That means we'll have 2 layers of bananas and cookies. I want to make sure that I get that out to the edge. This is where the visuals are also important. We eat with our eyes, and so I get harassed sometimes by Gary and company about making my food pretty, but we eat with our eyes first. And when I cook, I'm usually cooking for other people. I'm cooking for my mom and my girls today, and so I cook with love. And I think that they deserve to have something that's beautiful, that makes them smile when we present it to them. So we're going to go ahead and actually, we want to make them pretty by showing them on the outside also. So I'll put a layer on the outside. Now I bought my ingredients a couple of days ago, so you can imagine the horror when I come downstairs and find vanilla wafers open. Nutter butters opened. The little Nutter Butter mouse had come in and started snacking on my Nutter Butters. So I've got a layer of Nutter Butters down. Then I'm going to take about half of my bananas and go ahead and get those down on the bottom as well. So I don't know if y'all can see, yeah, you can see that because I've got my trifle bowl. So I've got that layer down. Then I'm going to come in with the pasta. And put my next layer of pudding. And I kind of sit that right in the middle, and then I can move it out as I need to. Because again, it's visual. We want to make sure it looks like it's layered on the outside as well. Okay. Ooh, she put it in slow-mo for me. And I'll do the exact same thing where I layer. Oh, who does that? Vanilla wafers on the outside, or your Nutter Butters. Then I drop them in the middle. Now, what's gonna be really important, because especially since I'm using such a thick cookie, I have to make sure that I let this chill, because the chilling process is what's gonna make this, get those Nutter Butters real soft. And that's what we're looking for. 3 hours or overnight. That's why I got the morning slot, so that this would be ready later in the day when we were ready to eat banana pudding, because most people don't eat that for breakfast. Most. It's fruit, right? We're going to layer another layer of bananas on there. And it's important that all of your bananas be underneath the surface. It looks cute, and if you're going to eat it immediately, or if you wanted to decorate with it, put them on right before you serve it. Don't put this on and then sit it in the refrigerator. But you want your bananas to stay under the custard because that's going to make sure that they don't brown. Washing hands. And I'm going to check on my pasta. Again, if you were doing a hot pasta, you would cook your pasta noodles until they were almost done so that the rest of the process would happen with the sauce and they would absorb more of the sauce. Again, I'm going to stop the cooking process on this, so I want to make sure that they're cooked all the way done. They're not quite ready yet. Ooh, that's good. Somebody told on you. Said a thief took your cookie. Thank you, Suzanne. I appreciate that. I'm good. And we're going to top this off with our last layer of custard. We know folks who own baking companies. I have a girlfriend who owns a cupcake shop. You all know Dawn owns the cupcake shop. Everything that is left on this bowl is money lost. So we want to make sure that we clean our bowls. Okay. All right. She's very excited about that. Last stop, once we've got all of our pretty vanilla wafers going, looking good, this is where we're going to go ahead and top it. You can top it now. You can wait until you're ready to serve it to top it. That's not going to matter. It'll hold up that long in the fridge. I need another plastic spoon. Where was this wooden spoon last night when I needed it? For anybody who was playing the games with us, I was like, I am not going to run down the stairs and break my neck and be like, what happened? I was playing scavenger hunt. That would be really hard to explain, but I'm going to go ahead and I give my Cool Whip a little bit of a stir simply because it's prettier after you stir it. And then I can go ahead and top it off with that. How was it, Sarah?
It was delightful.
I won't tell y'all what I did not do. Anybody know? Somebody tell me.
You ain't put your peanut butter in here?
I ain't put my peanut butter in there. Thank you, baby. No peanut butter. We're just cutting up today. But guess what? We can drizzle it right over the top. Personally, I think those cookies is probably more than I wanted to have anyway, but okay, that's not as cute as I would like it to be, but it works. I think we're good on peanut butter. Okay, child comes through with an idea. Beautiful. That worked. Just lovely. Got a nice little swirl pattern going. And at the end, I know Deirdre's doing traditional banana pudding with vanilla wafers. Go ahead, take a vanilla wafer or whatever you're making. Yes, you should be putting it between the layers. It's kind of a lot, but just take a vanilla wafer at the end and go ahead and just crumble that right over the top. Everybody make sure you get that shot. And that is our peanut butter or nutter butter banana pudding. Yay. All right. Yay. All right. I'm going to check my pasta. Give me 1 second.
Does anybody
Did I
have
miss any
questions for
questions?
Nicole?
I just had a real quick question. This is Tammy. I wanted to know, what did you mix the peanut butter with, or was it just straight peanut butter, Nicole?
Straight peanut butter. Remember, peanut butter is butter by nature. It's got oil in it already, so it melts very easily. Most people don't keep their peanut butter.
Was it a particular type? Was it honey roasted with or regular? What did you have?
I used a honey creamy peanut butter because I like the honey in there. I think that actually takes a little of the sweetness out of it too. I love sweet, but I don't need too much sweet. So I think actually without the peanut butter, I feel a little bit better.
Okay,
because I've got those nutter butters in there. So.
Right. So would you normally put the peanut butter on the top, or would you put it in one of the layers?
You put it in the layers. So right over the bananas is where that would typically go. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So when you put that in the fridge, that peanut butter is gonna kind of harden, right? Will it still be soft?
You can sit it out. That's the nice part about banana pudding. Think about it. We can leave that banana pudding out all day, and it's not gonna kill us. Cool. Ooh, that was hot. My pasta is ready. I'm gonna go ahead and drain that. Switch over all of the ingredients so that we can go ahead and finish that. Oops. Grab that on me. Remember that we want to stop the cooking process on this, so we are going to rinse the pasta off this time. Okay. Do we have any other questions?
Do you travel?
I'd love to, please, and thank you. COVID?
You gotta let me know when you're coming back to San Francisco so I can come eat.
How about, I was supposed to leave Wednesday. We got a little nervous about COVID. I have a friend who is very immune compromised, and we thought that it wasn't the best idea right now, but I actually do have a ticket still to leave on Wednesday to fly into Oakland. So,
well, we'll come hit us up.
Next time, I'll do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we were supposed to travel back east, but we ain't make it.
Nobody's doing any of the fun stuff right now. All right, clean cutting surface. I'm gonna need green onion, celery. I'm going to use about 2 stalks of celery. And of course, you want to make sure to wash your celery because celery is always dirty. Have that dry. My sous chef is over there opening cans for me. I've got black olives sliced in the can. It's probably my favorite food. I could just eat that by itself. I've got mayo. I need the mustard, please, and thank you. I've got garlic. We don't care who diced it. I need another whisk. Thank you, darling. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare my veg so that I can get my sauce all together. She is pouring the juice off of my olives for me. We're gonna dice this pretty fine.
I joined late, so what we making now?
Nice. This is a seafood pasta salad.
All right.
Well, tell me your Instagram again.
I Speak Foodie, one word. If you all see my little chef bit emoji on there, that's what it is. It's nice to add a little bit of crunch. A lot of salads call for imitation crab meat. You think about it, you go to Subway, you get a seafood sub, it's got the imitation crab meat in it as well. Just works well in salads. You could use real crab, and if you lived in the Bay where it wasn't that expensive, you probably would do that. We, on the other hand, have a hard time finding good crab meat that isn't in a can. And that stuff's usually kind of yucky too. Unless you order it offline from Baltimore. Kim, send us some crab. Okay, so I've got my celery ready. Gonna go ahead and get my green onions together. I am not going to use the whites of this time. Not a lot of the white, I'll say. Running. Just about there. I like to use it until it stops being crunchy. After that, it's no fun. Get rid of the knife. Dip that to the side. I'm gonna go ahead and start my base for this. I need that spatula, Pudge. No, I need a big one. It is. Thank you, John. All right. We're just chock full of spatulas. We have them in all different sizes. We have little bitty tiny ones in case you want to get the froth out of your latte maker. All right, we're going to go ahead and start our sauce for this. I'm going to start with about a cup of mayo. If you don't like a real mayo type sauce, you can use less. It's up to you. And then I want a little mustard, somewhere around 2 teaspoons, just a dollop, like if you were making potato salad. There we go. I knew that would happen, and I have another one. Okay. And then I want to go ahead and season that. I'm going to season it with Old Bay. I absolutely love Old Bay because of the celery seed in there, I think, and the thyme that's in there as well. So that's why I use that. Creole or Cajun seasoning, pick one. I hope I don't get in trouble if there's a real difference in that. That also has all of the salt that we need. We don't need to add any additional salt since we're using that. And I'll go ahead and add my garlic simply because it's one of the juicier ones. I'm using just about a teaspoon of minced garlic. It's good. That was enough. Thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and whisk all of this up. And this is going to be the sauce for our salad. Next, I want to go ahead and add my seafood. So I've got shrimp, get cooked shrimp. Those are the nice soft pink ones. I went ahead and rinsed these. You always want to make sure that they're thawed in advance so they don't add any additional water to your salad. My kids are good. My package is already open. Let's see. Now with the crab meat, I prefer to just break it into little pieces. If you get the sticks, you can cut that with a knife. But this one, I just prefer to sort of pull apart. That also lets me control when I'm like, yeah, I got enough of that. Not there yet though. And it gives you something else hearty inside of the salad. So if you were using sticks, I'd probably use 2 or 3 sticks, depending on how you feel about it. There will be some dishes to do after this. See, and then it actually looks a little bit more like crab meat, a little random and not so uniform if we tear it.
Nicole, we got a 10-minute warning, huh?
I'm good because I'm almost there. Rock and roll. Okay, so I've got my seafood in there. And then I'll go ahead and add my veg, which is my celery and onion. Oops, that one got away. It's all right. Start to give that a stir. Then we add my favorite food, my black olives, right sliced black olives. If you're not a fan, you don't have to add the entire can, but it does add a nice little saltiness to the dish. And the last stop, which is not going to happen in this bowl, evidently, is our pasta noodles. Let's see if I can put that in there. Thank you. Put them in a nice, pretty blue bowl because it's a nice contrast to what's going in it. And of course, presentation matters. Sarah, you hand me the dried parsley, like a second to the top shelf. Okay, I'm gonna finish stirring that up. I think we're good. Ooh. Okay. Always use a wet paper towel. Clean off your edge. Garnish. Garnish can make an entire dish. I use a lot of green onion or cilantro. I don't always keep fresh parsley, but dried parsley. Still add some green. Paprika if you find something that needs a little red. And that is it, folks. We've got a beautiful seafood pasta.
Yay.
Questions?
Great job, Nicole. Great job.
Great job. Thank
Thank
you.
you much. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Beautiful, beautiful.
All righty, folks. It's been fun cooking with you.
Thank you.
Did yours finish? Did Deirdre get hers finished?
I'm putting parsley on. Thank you for my lunch, Nicole. My lunch and dessert. I'm good.
Awesome.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I have a question about people who.
What you got?
How did you get into cooking this way? Like, I eat, basically several times a day, but my cooking isn't delightful in this way. Did you have to make a transition from being just a person who cooks so that nobody starves to death to being this person that cooks so you do?
Actually, I've cooked for a long time. My cousin went to the Culinary Institute of America. I lived with her when I was in college, so she always loved to cook. When I was a kid, you find not a lot of stuff to watch on TV because we didn't have 100 channels on cable. There was a guy by the name of Ming Tsai, a big Asian guy who used to cook. And I absolutely loved to watch him, Sarah Moulton. They taught sort of technique. So I was always into cooking, but I really didn't start to cook for enjoyment until, I don't know, when I had kids, because I had to do fun stuff. You have to make, spiders and little ghosts and goblins for Halloween or things that they'll eat. But you get tired of, chicken nugget, mashed potato, and string beans. So what can we do to make this fun? Well, let's see if we chop it all up and put it in a foil packet. Maybe it'll be fun today. So I've always loved cooking. I actually got to meet Ming Tsai. We were at Katz's Deli in New York, and I'm, standing in the line to check out, and the man in front of me wearing an Obama jacket is Ming Tsai. I went fangirl on him, but yeah, I've just really, it brings me peace. I love to be in the kitchen. Thanksgiving, give me 2 days before Thanksgiving. I want to be the only one in the kitchen, and I want to take my time and do all of the cooking, and I absolutely love it. And I love cooking for the people that I love.
Well, last thing I'll say is that, Alice Walker in her book, In Search of Our Mother's Gardens, was saying that enough women, don't give themselves enough credit for the kitchen, for their gardens, for their housework as a place where you really can do your artistic expression. And I just want you to know that we see you, we see your gifts, and we appreciate you. And thank you for sharing with us today.
Thank you, honey. I love you. And I love the apron.
You have to
Oh,
look.
I wish she was cooking like this when we were roommates. I would be in a different place in my life in the kitchen. Cause see, I could have gotten some skills
somebody
from
lived
you
in the living room.
that you would have allowed us to be able to do that.
I lived on M&M's and Coca-Cola. There was a dog that just ran through my kitchen and took out my light. I lived on M&M's and Coca-Cola when we were in college.
Where's the cord?
Anything else? Yes, no, maybe?
This was wonderful. Thank you very much.
We
Awesome.
appreciate you, Nicole.
Thanks, guys. Love you back.
Thank you. Everybody give Nicole a hand. Please follow her on her Instagram.
Already.
I Speak Foodie.
I Speak Foodie.